Bonjour. So, welcome to the first hog view of the new year. Only because last week in England things are a bit chaotic at the moment, getting stuff delivered. So this is a kind of 2 weeks in one, but I am doing it more this week's rather than, you know. Anyway, let's get on with it. Part one of a new story in Batman, which I find very interesting. I'm hoping it's not going to go the way. It's kind of a bit of a multiverse tale, but it's intriguing for me at the moment. I'm enjoying what they're doing with it. The same goes with this timeless old Kang. Never been a big fan of his, to be fair, but I did enjoy this as like I just wanted to see how they're setting up like the precursor to the, you know, it's continued in Avengers and blah blah, you know, probably be about another 18 titles across 3 years. But anyway, that is a worthy read if you enjoy that stuff, and it's a good take on Kang. These are just these Star Wars books. I think I've said it already, but I will say it again. They're a good romp. They really are, and they hark back. Just there's enough nostalgia bait in there to satisfy a Star Wars fan, but they're delivering just some fresh new stories with all the old faces, and I'm loving it. I'm getting my Star Wars fix. I mentioned this to Space Lizard the other week. I think I'm getting my Star Wars fix from these comics now, because obviously old Dismal ain't performing, are they? But anyway, we don't go there on this video. This is all about positivity and all the good comics that are coming out, and this is another one of them. Dark Ride, about a story about a family that runs a horror themed park called Devilland. Really enjoying that. That's issue 3. I think I might be a little bit late with that. It might have been last week's one, but bear with me. This was great. I've really enjoyed this. That nearly had the #1 spot for the week. Another horror done very nicely indeed. AWA as usual doing a stand-up job, and I know it's going to be controversial. This is my #1 book of the week. I know I did issue 1. I know I did issue 1. Yes, I know I've done a Doctor Strange special as well, but I tell you what, if you're not convinced yet, that's my #1 book of the week. A lot of fun. The art in it, I think, is sensational. I've decided. I know I said I'm conflicted with it originally. I'm still not sure about his figure art and his face of Doctor Strange, but other than that, I think it's amazing art style. Talking of mad stuff, this is some of the stuff. I'm going to do a deep dive into them, but I'm just going to show a few of the other bits I've picked up. Still as mad as ever. Another like kind of indie horror book. Human Torch this month. Enjoying that. Yoda issue 2. Like I say, these Star Wars books continue to deliver. They continue to just bait the basic stuff. I'm loving it. Nice noir tale for Gotham City. I'm still enjoying that one. This as well. There's a charm about it. There's just some kind of charm about it. And I know it's kind of like, I do enjoy the Elseworlds stuff, which that is, and it's different to the multiverse stuff. I think that's what with the Batman comic I'm thinking. It's reminding me more of an Elseworlds rather than a multiverse of stupidity. Last issue of this, what a great cover! Look at that, awesome. That's been a great story, and obviously this is my #1 book of the year. Issue 4 is out. Got to get this, guys. Got to get it. Another great indie. Earth Divers, little time travel escapade. There's some beautiful covers on them. Some beautiful covers on these books. Even the KO actually with the silhouette, and I don't know, in its simplicity. This book can't do no wrong anyway. And they have a blurb on the back explaining the story. Love it. That's what every single indie book should be doing. to get you involved and to give you the story up to now. There's nothing wrong with that. And just the last one, this is the, you know, the main Star Wars book. Marvel are just doing they're doing a great job, of it. But after the scroll, we're going to have a little deep dive read through of my top 6 of the week. Join me after the scroll. Here we go then, first week of the year. I'm going to start off, good old Batman. Again, these books have been good. I've done a read through before. This is part 1 of a new story. And it is, I'm going to call it an Elseworlds story. Chip Zdarsky, Mike Hawthorne is new, and Adrio De Benedetto on the inks. Tomio Mori has done the colours before. New art team, and they're a good art team. And it's an Elseworlds story, that's all I can say. It kind of carries on from Failsafe, from the last arc. And I just think these back books, don't listen, please people, don't listen to the naysayers. This is just a decent Elseworlds, as long as it, like I said in the intro, as long as it don't go into a multiverse load of crap, I'm happy with this staying as like this Elseworlds thing that's going to make sense towards the resolution of the story towards the end. This is Harvey Dent in this world, and like I say, look, it's just a Batman actioner. Look, here we go. Nice, just very, very nice artwork. It's not heavily stylized, but it's good artwork. It's good art, and the colouring, and a decent story. A nice, intriguing part 1 of a storyline. This I love the colouring on this. That page turner, and then you've got this all of this going on, and this it's great. Look, what a beautiful job on the colouring, and even this. The shattering glass is still the colour of you know, just carrying on the heat motif until they hit the ground. It's nicely done. I love stuff like that. Obviously that's Selena. Don't know who this is yet, but I suppose DC, more hardcore DC fans, you know, Red Hood, I suppose. You know, we're just going to get all the different, and again the colouring, back to this character's apartment. Nice. You know, I don't know if this would have been in the brief, but the colourist has done it. Look, love it. The backup story's decent as well. You know, Chip Zdarsky again. You know, these backup stories are always decent, and using, you know, up and coming artists or new artists, whatever. It's well worth your money. It's well worth. It continues to be a good book. Now from DC to good old Marvel, and it's Kang. Now this time this is obviously leading into it's going to lead into a multi comic, you know, adventure. I've kind of grown weary of Kang. I don't know what it is about him, but this is a decent opener if you're going to do a Star Spangled event, you know, in the multiverse universe, our universe, all the verses. This was a decent story, and again a nice job on the art. I wasn't going to let my petty, you know, grievance with Kang kind of stop me getting it really. Jed MacKay does it, you know, and obviously it's Greg Land on the art. Looks a bit like Tony Stark. I don't know why they're not going with the black Kang from Loki. I'm happy about that. But Greg Land, again, you know what I'm like now for my art, and this is I think this is a really nice job, considering there's not a lot of action in it, and this is a lot of setup. It did romp along. I've got to say, it's a very, very well-paced story by Jed MacKay. It just gets to a point where it's talky, and then it pops out into something else, which I think was really good. You know, the intro of the the team assembled against Kang. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin, and it does it in a very well accomplished way. She's got some not Norse DNA. Oh, you know what I mean, like Thor's what's it, DNA, etc. And all these characters kind of show off their powers in each kind of scene. Yeah, nicely done. And if you're into all this crossover stuff and these big event pieces, this was very, very nicely done, to be fair, as a page turner. As a page turner from what was going on here within the story, and then Bosch and how they set it up. That was very nicely done. As all of it is, to be fair. Yeah, sets Kang up against essentially against the evil villain, and his team, and that is basically it as the setup for you know, the further storyline to come. Nicely done. Can't say any more than that. This was very well. This was very almost cinematically handled. This fight with the pacing of it and the you know, extreme close up, then back to this, and it was. I won't show you how it ended, and it was just nice how Kang kind of overcome that particular character in the comic. Again, it wasn't just about having the most, the strongest punch. And right, these Star Wars comics, Marvel Star Wars is thumbs up for me at the moment. They're not all the best comics you're ever going to read in your life. I'm not saying that. I haven't picked this one up for a start. So I'm not, but the ones I have tend to be the legacy character ones. So I picked up the Yoda one, I'm picking up this one, and you can see right from page one where we are within the Star Wars we know and love. You can literally, you wouldn't have even, this is an editorial decision, I agree with, Tatooine, Mos Eisley, Spaceport, but if you're as old as the old hog here, you would know instantly, which is top marks for them. But obviously new readers or younger readers, I'm all for it. Get them involved, let them know where they are. And look, it's just, I'm not going to waffle on about the story. I'm just going to give you an example of why I say, little bits like this. Look, this is why I'm saying I really am getting my Star Wars fix from a good few of these Marvel Star Wars. Like I say, not all of them, but definitely, even this is a hark back to when they was, I forget where they were. Was it Empire? Even these, these masks are a little hark back. So I'm just thoroughly enjoying them. Thoroughly enjoying them. The artist managed to get a decent likeness. I mean, it's difficult in a comic to get but it's Han, it's Chewie, and we know that Grand Moff Tarkin is. It's nice. Yeah, just I can't recommend them enough, really. The main ones, Darth Vader, Star Wars, Yoda, this Han and Chewie one. I thoroughly look at this. I love this that they do the pew pew pew. It's just a nod and a wink to the fans. That's all that is. Pew pew pew. Love it. Look, he's even an old Chewie. What more can you ask for? I'll pick that one up as well. That's another good recommendation. Just while we're on the subject of Star Wars, if you've been put off by everything that's going on with Disney as a company, don't let that hold, because I've let it hold me back for a good couple of years since Marvel got the license back 2 or 3 years ago, and I regret it. These are good books. These are good books. Well, if you're into Star Wars, if you're not, then I don't think they're going to be a lot of fun or as much fun. But they're still well done. They're still, they're still well constructed story wise. Now, from the three standard, we have got 3 mad. comics. I have recommended this one before, and it is a creepy horror yarn, still building up. Joshua Williamson, I don't know where, if I should know. It's a story about a family that runs Devilland, a theme park, a horror theme park, and the shenanigans and the mystery of the past. Something's happened in a couple of earlier issues. You know, she's in a bad way. This is brother and sister, and then they go. You've got this investigator having a look, and she worked there, and her brother used to work there and disappeared. And you've got these little flashbacks to, and there's shenanigans and strange goings on in this Devilland. This is a flashback as well to the dad, and he's still alive, but you don't see him except in flashback and shadow. So you know that's lurking in the background. It's a real. I really think they've created a moody, like, you know, this dusk scene with and she's trying to get up this roller coaster to get some files and that. How it's done with the tinkling of the wheels and the colouring of this dusk scene, it's nice and moody. You know, this in just about, you know, 90% silhouette. Again, the writers and the artists on it, and the colourist, nice. Just a nice job. Look how moody like a panel like that is, with these creepy, because it's hot, because it's Devilland, that these creepy cuddly toys, and that comes into, you know, it does make it creepy. Like this is someone dressed up, but he's just standing there. You know, why are you still working? That kind of thing. You know, it's just a nice creepy mood. Really does set a moody tone, like a creepy, like tension in it. And I'm not going to go through the last couple of pages of this because it might spoil it if you do pick it up. I thoroughly recommend it though. Dark Ride, Image. Like I say, the independents are doing good stuff. Good stuff. Issue 1 of this book. I do look forward to anything AWA does. They haven't let me down. Obviously, to varying degrees of, you know, what you like and don't like. I'm not saying I absolutely love and must buy every AWA, but I will always pick it up. I will always pick an issue 1 of anything they do, first issue, and this did not let me down. Trojan, issue 1. Basically, I don't know if it's set now or in the future, but in a world where, not too far in the future, but in a world where all the legends, you know, are hidden away now. They're gone, and it's a horror. And as for an issue 1, this was a great character study of these two that I'm assuming are going to be our main characters. Again, a very, very nicely paced storyline, very nicely paced character study. That's all this issue 1 is, but I'm guaranteeing you, it is well worth it. It is well worth it. This is going to lead on to something weird, and actually I'm not going to tell you any more of the story. It's about what they call the Fays, F-E-Y, which are the you know, the fairy creatures, you know, all the creatures that have had to go underground, you know, because the magic has been lost, and she's going to him to do something horrible. She wants him to do something horrible, and the story unravels from there. Lovely artwork again. There is good artwork coming back to comics, and AWA really do put together a tight package, for want of a better term. Mrs. That's what she said. No, they really do. The editorial on the AWA books, you know, like they've done a snuff movie of murdering this mermaid. Just a little example of the darkness that she's curious to get enveloped in. And I'll leave it there because it's it just rolls along nicely, and the end of an issue 1 nails it. Daniel Kraus and Lacey, who've done the artwork, Marco Lesko, I haven't heard of any of them. So I don't know whether they've pitched this or I should have heard of these names. Forgive me if I should have done. And a really, really nice cover. I mean, if you're not gonna be attracted by that cover, I don't know what. Lovely logo, like I say, just a proper job of putting together good comics from the cover inwards. And now I know I keep saying it, but I know I keep using the word controversial for this one, because I do think it is. I don't know if the wider world is loving this or hating it. I have seen a bit of hate for Tradmore's art style on this, but I was conflicted on issue 1. But I've got to say, with this issue 2, and it's a dense read, issue 2, compared to issue 1, which kind of like was more imagery, and I think I did say at the time, as long as issue 2 follows that up with some more, and by God it does. And this does remind me, I think I mentioned it before, a French artist called Philippe Droulier. He used to do stuff for heavy metal back in the day. I'm talking about back in the 70s, 80s. Lone Star Delirious, I think it was called. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I must have it up here somewhere. But anyway, I won't waffle on about that. I'm just merely saying that he's riffing on. I know I said he was riffing off of P. Craig Russell as well, but this is, look at this beautiful stuff. This is beautiful artwork, and he gets really detailed. I mean, I'd love to see this in like a treasury size, because the detail he's putting into this art, I've got to say, is exceptional. You know, he's still giving us Doctor Strange. He's kind of relaxing into it a bit more now, relaxing into the Doctor Strange. Like I think you're either going to love or hate it, but again, dark, moody, atmospheric artwork. Look at this. It's mad. It's mad artwork, and you can only get these characters in a comic. That's all you can do. You like trying to get this on the TV screen or in the cinema. Look, and these nice little panels. You know, it is slow, it is talky, moves through, but he's getting a lot in here. They really are getting a lot in, the guys. I like the way they're doing the chapters as well. It does kind of break it up, and then you're ready for, you know, ready for another. This reminds me still of the old Kirby, a mixture of the old Kirby stuff, the monster stuff he used to do. Look at this, you know, even this tiny little panel here. Look, there's not a wasted millimetre. Look at this stuff. If you're going to create a multiverse with Doctor Strange, that's how you do it. This is how you do it, without a doubt. And the colourist as well, Heaven Moore. And kind of like another artistic style used here, and a different colouring style, but we are in the multiverse and we're in different places, and then bang again, and then bang again. This is how you do Doctor Strange for me. I'm not saying I'm in love totally with I am finding it jarring, but I think it's because I'm used to the traditional Benedict Cumberbatch look of Doctor Strange. I shouldn't really say that, but I am. But I've got to say, I'm not letting it put me off this book. And the story, well, it's going somewhere. And then look at this. I mean, this is a completely different, and again, we're back to the P. Craig Russell references that I can see now, all this. But like I say, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, I don't know what reference all this is, but it's still beautifully done. There is a different artist's name at the front. Forgive me, I didn't make a note of the name, but that's a different artist on it. And again, look at this colouring. Just to get a psychedelic feel on that one panel. You know, as if it couldn't get any more psychedelic. It's trippy, man. But that's getting back to Doctor Strange roots. That's what I want to, that's me personally, that's what I want to see. I want to look at this. Look at that. I hope that comes out nicely. Look at that. Why would you not want to, you know, this artwork you can just keep looking at, and it's going to turn up something new every single time. You know, these are the characters we see a few pages ago in the same colour style. You know, you're just going to see something every different time you look at this, and that's good art. you know, I've just noticed this one bending over, and you know, what is this coming out? And then, you know, now I'm seeing this track that's going in or out. You know, love it, love it. Closing in, closing in, closing in. Nice. And what's all this going on? Magical is what I call it. Which is handy in a Doctor Strange book, isn't it? Here's a bit more. And like I say, trying to describe the story would make it sound a bit banal compared to what the story actually is. And it is dense. This issue is dense. You can see it. It is. So pick up issues 1 and 2 if you can. I think at this point, from what I'm hearing, is that good luck. Good luck picking them up. So I'm recommending it, but you're going to have a search on your hands. You know, Doctor Strange is back in style. You know, they do a countdown, but look how they've done it. There's something a little bit different there as well. Bosh. Look at that. That's at the end of the countdown. There, like I say, keep saying, there is a lot going on there, and I have just noticed the lettering in it that's going to make sense, hopefully, somehow. That, you know, the E's upside down coming through, you know, the letter E coming through there, and this is exactly what I mean. There's going to be something different. You know, what's all this going on there? This mound right up in the corner where look, with the sword hilts all stuck in them. Absolutely love it. I mean, he seems to be getting a bit better with his figure work, to be fair. You know, his feet were really sloppy last week, but last month, but seems to be getting a little bit, you know, he's not using the excuse anymore. Look, what we got, 4, 8, you know, you got like 14 panels on that page. And not a wasted panel in sight. Not a wasted panel in sight. I thoroughly recommend that book. That Doctor Strange is back. That is my book of the week. That's a beautiful cover and a cracking start. Only a 4-issuer. And that is intriguing as anything. And then you've got, just quickly to compensate for that, you have got from the ridiculous to the sublime. Couldn't get more traditional, let's call it, than that. And 1 each from the big boys. That is my 6 recommendations for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like. And on that note, I will bid you adios.